Radio check, loud and clear. Thank you everyone for tuning in and welcome along to the coverage here in Budapest. We are 30 minutes away from the start of a very, very exciting qualifying session and lots to look forward to, really. We've had the first 3 practice sessions, no red flags, only a couple of spins here and there, and apart from that it has been fairly smooth sailing for all of the drivers. I'll do a quick recap of FP1, FP2 and FP3, but we should have a very exciting session up ahead for us today. So, in FP1 we had, all of the drivers apart from Fernando Alonso and Nico Hülkenberg driving. We had Paul Aron driving instead of Nico Hülkenberg, and we had Felipe Drogovic driving instead of Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso was out of FP1 because he had some back problems. A muscle in his lower back was giving him a severe amount of pain, and because of that he got treated by a physio, got treated in time for Free Practice 2, and he was allowed to take part in Free Practice 2 after getting cleared by the FIA. However, in Free Practice 1, he was not in good enough condition to be driving, so Felipe Drogovic was driving. He ended up only 3/10 back from Stroll, so pretty good showing there from the Aston Martin reserve driver. And Fernando Alonso, made a quick recovery, and the team added in some pads into his seat to prevent, pain and such. Then Alonso was good to go, really. No pain while driving the car, and he's taking part in qualifying. Nico Hülkenberg stepped into the car in FP2 after Paul Aron had some engine issues with it. In fact, it was a critical engine issue, and he was told to stop the car on the side of the track, and Paul Aron had his FP1 session cut short. Gabriel Bortoleto also was having some issues at the end of FP1, wasn't coming out of the pit lane, was sat in the pits for quite a while, and I think the issues were related between the two Sauber cars, and regardless, those issues got fixed, and the Saubers looked not too shabby, really, at the end of FP3, 9th and 10th position, and that seems like pretty realistic pace. Aston Martin's up in 3rd and 4th yesterday, I think, or 4th and 5th or something, and today 6th and 7th for them, and, their pace is good. However, I would sort of throw a little bit of caution up into the air. And the first bit of caution essentially being is that it is now rumoured that Aston Martin is up for private sale. Lance Stroll's dad currently owns the team, and he is potentially looking to sell it, basically. It's not Lance Stroll's dad owns just the team. Lance Stroll's dad owns this huge amount of things, and then a certain percentage of that is the Formula One team, and he's looking to sell that certain percentage to someone else. So maybe what they're doing is to sort of, show off the team and the sponsors and all of that stuff. What they're doing is, we'll just put a little bit less fuel in the car today, this weekend, and we'll turn up the engine mode a little bit more and make ourselves look good in practice sessions, so we get a lot of people looking at them and the media start talking about them. But, maybe they do have some true pace, and I guess we will only wait and see what happens in Q1. Yeah. Right, I need to see Lewis outdrive Leclerc just once a season. Well, you might be in luck. This weekend might be the one. Hamilton's, best circuit, second best circuit is the Hungaroring. And, this is probably his best shot of getting ahead of Charles Leclerc for a really long time, really. I don't know. His performances just haven't been that consistent, that great. And, looking at the pace difference between Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton today, what was that pace difference? It was, 3/10, 4/10? Yeah, 3.5 is the pace difference between Leclerc and Hamilton, and that's a lot of time to close up around such a short circuit as well. Around Spa, you've got 7 kilometers to reduce a 3.5 gap. Here in the Hungaroring, you've only got 4.3 kilometers, just over half of the distance. So 3.5 is a very, very big gap at such a short circuit, and that just makes the McLaren dominance all the more crazy. They are currently 4/10 ahead of Charles Leclerc. Piastri's and Norris is 3.5 ahead, but they did both of their laps on high fuel load. Charles Leclerc did his lap on 1 lap's worth of fuel being in the car. He did his fine lap, came into the pits, refueled, and then went out again. Piastri and Norris both had 2 hot laps worth of fuel in the car. Still, they were managed to go 4/10 clear of Charles Leclerc. So some serious pace in that McLaren's. And, there's still some setup tweaks that Ferrari and for Red Bull and Mercedes can make, but how much can a tweak really bring your performance up to? F1 Gamer, I think Lewis is a shot for pole. He was faster, just locked up in the last corner of his fastest lap. Okay. Well, I do have the theoretical best lap times here up on my screen as well. So Hamilton's theoretical best lap time is only 2/10 quicker than his current lap time. So in theory, if he hooked up every single sector as like his best sectors, they were all put together, he would still be 2/10 back from Charles Leclerc rather than 3.5 tenths back. So, yeah, the data doesn't go to back that up. So that's what I'm going to say. Maybe we'll see what happens. But I've got it up on my screen. I can't show it on the stream itself because there's just way too much numbers everywhere. But yeah, Hamilton's theoretical best lap time are 1:15.519, and that would still keep him in 4th position, albeit slightly higher up in 4th position. If the car is on the verge of working, a slight change in downforce can make all the difference. It can, just, with the correct team. I would say a slight change in downforce for the McLaren team probably isn't going to do much because their setup window is so large that they could have a variety of different setups and things could work. Whereas I think maybe with the Red Bull, a tiny little tweak in the right direction could drop the car in the perfect zone for qualifying, and that could help them out. So, you need a very sensitive car to your setup changes to get a small tweak, give you a lot of performance, and Red Bull have exactly that, a very, very sensitive car. So, if they can put the setup in the correct direction, then Verstappen will be able to fight at the top. If not, then there's a risk of him getting knocked out in Q2. Yeah. All right. F1 Gamer, have you decided on your merch name? It's probably just going to be Slipstream, I think. I think Slipstream's just a nice, simple name. I'll make a sort of logo and everything like that and get a website sorted out soon. But, yeah, I think it's just going to be called Slipstream. Okay. Audio issues. No, I think it's all right. I'm holding my mic in the exact same position. My mic settings are the exact same as what they were for FP3. So, yeah, I genuinely don't change my mic settings. I have the settings set up, and then they don't get touched for like till the end of the season, pretty much. Shout out live on SRF and RTS. Yeah, folks, if you guys are interested in watching the coverage for free, for $2 a month, shall I say, all you've got to do is pay the $2 a month to Surfshark VPN, then you join an Austrian VPN server, you go onto Google, search Servers TV, and then you enjoy watching Formula One, really. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check that out. There's a link in the description to Surfshark VPN, and it helps out the channel as well. So go ahead and, if you're interested, click that link. All right. Yellow flag from practice 3. Yeah, the yellow flag's from practice 3. I think there was just a little bit of debris on the circuit. Turn number 12 specifically. I'll take you through a lap of the circuit shortly, but turn number 12 has got a gravel trap on the exit, and quite often some gravel gets kicked up, and that's what's going to be the cause of that little yellow flag that has been deployed at the circuit. All right, we are now 22 minutes away from the start of the session. Okay, folks, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe. We're very close to hitting our subscriber target. That subscriber target is for the start of the quali session. We're, 156 subscribers away, so not too far away. If you could hit the like button and the subscribe button, that would very much be appreciated. All right. I still think it's like 70% of you folks aren't subscribed, so, it helped the channel get to 200k as well, so would very much be appreciated. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, F1 Gamer. Do you think Formula E's qualifying layout would work for Formula 1? I don't know what Formula E's qualifying layout is, unfortunately. Your quali predictions, my quali predictions. I mean, I want to be optimistic here, and I want to think one of the Ferraris is going to be on the front row. It might not seem particularly likely given how quick the McLarens are, but that is one of my predictions. Another prediction that I'm going to have is that Isaac Hadjar is in the top 7. And one more prediction I'm going to go with. Let's see. I think that I don't really know. Should I go for a really ridiculous one? I think maybe Max is going to get knocked out of Q2. Um, yeah, I really don't have that much hope for the Red Bull team. I would love to see Max up there, but don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's not really looking good, is it? All right. Is the FIA or the American stakeholders destroying F1 with the IndyCar dry track only racing? No, I think in Spa they were just being a little bit too cautious. You know, in the history of Spa there have been incidents, there have been deaths, specifically at the Eau Rouge corners, Eau Rouge and Radion, and we had a really big crash of Norris as well in 2021 in QUALI because of such the heavy rain, and you know the stewards were playing it a little bit safe, so that's what happened in Spa. But we have got rain forecast, ladies and gents, for Sunday. For tomorrow in Budapest, there is rain forecast overnight. The chance of rain during the race itself drops to about 10% or so. However, the majority of the rain is going to fall between 2 a.m. and 9 a.m. before the race. So, yeah, we should be starting the race with a wet track, which is always good to see. Yeah. Alright, Formula E has a group stage and then the fastest four from the two groups get sorted into head-to-heads, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then a final to decide pole position. Ooh, I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? I don't really know, actually. I think this elimination style is also quite nice because it always gives you, like, constant action. But I guess this setup where you've got sort of quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals also gives you constant action. So it might be something, I guess, maybe worth trying. You know, they've tried out sprint races and they decided it was a good idea. Maybe it's worth trying out that idea. The FIA need to make some rules to reduce the spray. They've made it far worse for the ground effect cars. Yeah, so, you know, with what they've done is they've improved racing and they've reduced dirty air by making the cars focused on ground effect. But then the flip side of that is because of the cars generating so much of their downforce from the diffuser and the floor, it generates a lot more spray. So they're in a sort of scenario where either we have good racing in wet conditions because you have visibility, but in dry conditions everyone's sort of, well, far apart because of the dirty air, or you have good racing in dry conditions but then you can't race in the wet because there's just so much spray. It's a tough one. Okay. What are the chances that Yuki outqualifies Max? Well, you know, in FP2, Tsunoda was quite a bit quicker than Max by about 3/10, but here we are in FP3, and the gap once again between the two Red Bulls is about 7/10 of a second, which is typical. It's not like Max had a particularly bad lap and Tsunoda's right behind him. You know, 7/10 of a second is what we typically see between Verstappen and Tsunoda, and yeah, that just contributes all more to the idea that Red Bull just don't have that much pace this weekend. All right. I do like me a wet race, so I'd prefer that side of the equation. Yeah, I mean, you know, Formula One could do their best to also schedule races during wet times of the year. They scheduled a race at Silverstone during the peak of summer, but obviously you're in the UK, it's always going to rain, so it's not too bad there. But they could hedge their bets, potentially schedule races where you've got more chance of rain, more, yeah, and just more action really. All right, hi F1 Gamer, how's everyone? Hello, Kiers, nice to see you here. Okay. What are your predictions for next year's Constructors' Championship? It is Williams versus Aston Martin. That's my prediction for next year, 2026. Adrian Newey versus James Vowles. Both of them are cooking, and I think it's going to be a close fight. That's what I think is going to happen. Okay. What are your thoughts on F1 being more and more keen on the Middle East influence? Well, it's not really the Middle East influence. It's not like they care about being in the middle of the world or near a desert. It's more about the money that the Middle East brings. So, am I surprised? No. Do I hope that they change? Yes. Will they change? Probably not. Yeah. That about sums it up, doesn't it? Okay. Alonso P4 guaranteed. Maybe, you know, the Hungaroring is also one of Alonso's best circuits, and I think he got his first win at the Hungaroring as well, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Alonso's first win must have been a long time well, it's definitely a long time ago. It might even be before I was born. So I don't really know. When did Alonso start racing? But anyway, regardless, um, yeah, Alonso is pretty good around this circuit. Of course, in 2021, he put up that monstrous defense against Lewis Hamilton for like 9 laps or so. He was on hards. Lewis Hamilton was on mediums. He was in that absolute machine of the 2021 Mercedes, and Alonso in the Alpine defended against him. I mean, yeah, it's definitely one of his best circuits, and his defensive work at Hungary is just incredible. All right, here we go then. I'll take you through an onboard lap of the circuit. Oh, let's not do a cockpit lap. Let's do a T-cam lap. All right. And I'll make this ever so slightly bigger while we're waiting for the session to actually begin. So what we have here, folks, is we've got the rundown into turn number 1. DRS is wide open. Hit the brakes at the 100-meter mark here, and then try and carry as much speed as you can. Upshift early from 3rd up into 4th to get a smooth exit as you go down the hill. And then you green here, you brake ever so as late as you can, and trail brake your way into the corner smoothly onto the power as you go through turn number 3 and 4, and then you go up the hill, towards turn number 4, flick the car to the left, hope it stays within track limits, and then through turn 5, just carry as much speed as possible. Your exit doesn't matter because you're flat for about a second before you're onto the brakes again, bouncing over the curbs for turns number 6 and 7, and then you're driving on this little concrete strip there to the right of the curb to get you as much grip as possible, then over to the left, then right, and then left again, and now it's turn number 11, the hardest corner of the circuit. You have to hold it flat, then do a tiny little lift back onto the power immediately, slam onto the brakes for turn number 12. There's a gravel trap on the exit, could be used for plan C for chaos. We'll wait and see what the drivers do. Through then to turn number 13. This is the slowest speed part of the circuit, and you're crawling through here. Your tyres are overheating. You've got to stand on the accelerator, but you can't spin out. It's so tricky. And then across the line, it's a 1 minute 15 lap there from me, and yeah, the lap times that we're looking at from last year's pole time are 1 minute 15.227. So those are sort of the lap times that we're sort of aiming for, looking at, and we'll wait and see what happens, really. All right, let me just move this over back to its spot. There we go. All right, there we go. Very nice. Let's see. What else have we got going on? Imagine both Red Bulls out in Q1. I mean, maybe it'll happen, but I don't think they'll be both out in Q1. Maybe Sonoda. I think Max should make it through, at least out of Q1. Dang, F1 gamer is faster than Leclerc. Well, I have got the 2021 cars, and Leclerc's, of course, got the 2025 cars, so it's different. The lap record, of course, held by the 2020 W11. Lewis Hamilton, a 1 minute 13.45 is the quickest lap that has ever been recorded around here. Oh, hello, Multi Ninja. Nice to see you here, buddy. Harsh, thanks for joining the channel membership. Very much is appreciated, and thanks everyone for all of the channel members that have joined, really. It's only, I think, $1 or €1 or £1 to become a channel member, and it really does go a long way to helping out the channel, because, you know, sometimes views are good, sometimes, well, as of recently, views have been good, but, you know, sometimes they're not, and yeah, just give some stability to the channel. So really do appreciate all of your constant support, and big thank you. F1 Gamer, do you think we might see a lap record today? Not with the temperatures that we're seeing. The temperatures are extremely high out in Budapest today, which means that, yeah, it's harder to set a lap time that is really quick. Yeah, because your tyres start overheating, essentially, and that's the problem. Alright, F1 Gamer, can you increase your volume? I mean, my volume is at the exact same level that it is. I'm going to turn it up at maybe extra couple percent, but yeah, I can't go much higher than this, because otherwise you start getting a lot of distortion over the microphone, and yeah. Alright, 11 minutes away now from the start of the session. I think we'll be getting the live timing data coming through as well. Let me just give it a quick refresh. Alright, nice. We'll be getting that coming through very shortly. Will the temps be high tomorrow? Probably not as much. As you can see there, it says that the air temperature is going to be 24 degrees, and today's air temperature was forecast to be 29. So it's going to be 5 degrees or so cooler. And then, of course, with the chance of rain, that means there's also going to be a lot more clouds up in the sky, and then the clouds block the sun, and track temperature stays low. So I suspect track temperatures tomorrow will be lower, and that will make the choice for the strategy battle very, very interesting. Yeah. Do you think Colapinto could get into Q3 after a decent FP3? Well, maybe, but the problem with getting that Alpine is it's just not so great around this circuit. I think Gasly was also struggling quite a bit, and yeah, Colapinto might put together a good lap. I just don't know if the Alpine really has the pace to get him through into Q3. So yeah, it's a tough one, really. I don't know really how he's gonna make it through. Maybe he'll need a little bit of luck on his side. Oh, Alonso fan, thank you for becoming a channel member. Alonso fan 5637. Very much is appreciated. I'm not going to ask you who you support. I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, maybe we'll see Fernando Alonso up there. There is, of course, the chance that Aston Martin are reverse sandbagging and they're sort of just showing off all of their performance because potentially Aston Martin's going to get bought out, or they just have some true pace. I guess we shall wait and see. Okay, 9 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock, and we'll be getting underway shortly. James sent you an email about a sponsorship, not had a reply. Are you interested? James, if you send me the email again, then maybe I will see it. Maybe I missed it, I'm not sure. But my email is gamerf1.yt5@gmail.com. So yeah, and my Instagram is f1_gamer_5 if you guys are interested to follow. Where to watch for free? It is Service TV this weekend. Service TV. So you get Surfshark VPN by paying $2 a month. You go to an Austrian VPN. You go onto Google. You search Service TV, and then you enjoy the Formula One coverage. Yeah. Alrighty. So that is all of that. Now I'm just going to quickly run through all of the teams, sort of see where they're at this current point in time and what they're hoping to do for this weekend. So, let's run from the top. McLaren, of course, they're just looking to continue on with their really, really nice performance. They've been driving fantastically. Their performances, their upgrades has been coming along brilliantly. So, yeah, they're just looking for more of the same, to be honest. Ferrari, their upgrade package seems to be in a much better shape than we saw in Belgium. Belgium, of course, so essentially, if anyone that didn't tune into the Belgian stream or don't know about the Ferrari upgrade package, essentially the Ferrari upgrade package was trying to help the car be as low to the ground as possible, so the teams can reduce their ride height without bottoming out and without porpoising. Those were the two aims of the Ferrari upgrade package, and in Belgium, you have to run the ride height pretty high because you've got Eau Rouge and Radeon, and you will bottom out. No matter how good your suspension is, you have to increase the ride height. So Ferrari brought an upgrade package of lowering the ride height to a circuit where you need a high ride height. So we didn't really get to see the full potential of that upgrade package at Belgium. And now here we are at Hungary in Budapest, where the circuit is super smooth, super flat for the majority of it. There's only a downhill through turn number 2 and then an uphill back towards turn number 4. Apart from that, the circuit's relatively flat. So this is where this upgrade package is going to come into their own. Leclerc says he's targeting the front row, so we'll see if he can do that. The McLarens do look very, very quick, but Charles Leclerc is no strangers to pulling out astonishing qualifying laps, so potentially that could happen, but we'll just have to wait and see, really. Yeah. We've got 5,000 people tuned in to the live stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Really is appreciated. And hopefully I can see you guys around for the race tomorrow as well. It's going to be really exciting. Even if we do have a McLaren 1-2, we're going to have so much battling between the two drivers. It is going to be mega. Okay. Hey everyone, gamer, have you watched Tactical Rab before? Would be amazing to see you guys collab for a race rewind or maybe a pre-show. I haven't actually watched Tactical Rab. I'll check out his channel once the stream's over. Okay, what else have we got going on here? F1 Gamer, can you compare some details of the McLaren 39 with the RB19? Give some details. To be honest, I don't really know a whole lot of all of the details between the McLaren and the Red Bull team. Yeah, like they've gone for different design philosophies, and some parts are copied, some parts aren't, and yeah, McLaren just seem to be a lot more consistent. There's not much else that I can really tell you about. I'd have to do research myself, and then I'd let you know. So yeah, do apologize. Okay. So here we go then, folks. We have got a very, very exciting quality session up ahead. Let me know who you think is going to get knocked out here, folks, in Q1. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a wild one. Because the thing is, here in Hungary, it's only a 4.3 kilometer circuit, and because it's so short, one mistake at one corner could be the end of your qualifying session, because you lose a tenth, you lose 2 tenths, and everyone's so close together and compressed that there's no going back really. I mean, let's just have a look here. You can see from 4th position all the way to 18th position, right? So 4th to 18th, there's a gap of only 0.8 of a second. That is so close. And one mistake, one little bit of wheel spin out on the exit of one of the corners, and game over. F1 Gamer, would you rather have Leclerc win his first World Driver Championship or Hamilton win his 8th? Well, why not both? Why not both, really? I don't know. Oh, you might want to refresh for the quali data. Oh, yeah. I, in fact, loaded up the quali data and then I forgot to put it up on the screen. There we go. Quali data is up there now. Fantastic. Thanks for letting me know. And as you can see, track temperature 53.2 degrees. Oh my god, it is getting toasty out there in Budapest. Yeah, extremely hot. We have got the the second softest tires of Pirelli's range. So we've got the C5 as the softs, the mediums as the C3s, and the C4s, and then we've got the C3s as the hards. We'll be seeing a lot of the soft tires today because we are in qualifying, of course. And if we look back, cast our minds back to the Hungaroring in 2024, we've had so much battling between Lando Norris and Piastri, not so much on the track, so much over the team radio. So that was great to see. Verstappen and Hamilton had a little collision when they were battling away on the circuit, and that was good fun to watch as well. But yeah, last year out in Hungary, the Red Bull was pretty bad, and this weekend out, their pace doesn't look to be much better. Oh my god, do I see rain off in the distance? Yes, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the forecast said like a 5% chance of rain or something, and off in the distance, I can see these rain clouds. I can see the rain falling from these rain clouds. So there is potential. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to give you a certain percentage because frankly, I don't know the percentage, but there is potential for something to happen. So we'll wait and see if anything does. But the clouds looking rather ominous and dark out in Budapest right now. I will double check the weather radar. The weather radar wasn't showing that much stuff, to be honest, earlier on. Budapest weather radar. Okay, let's have a look. We've got a normal qualifying session here, folks. 18 minutes for Q1, 15 minutes for Q2, and 12 minutes for Q3. And, yeah, there is actually quite a bit of rain right now to the northeast of Budapest. And let's see, where is the Hungaroring Circuit located in Hungary? Is it at the northeast of Budapest, or is it in the south of Budapest? Let me just double check. The Hungaroring Circuit is in the northwest. The rain is in the northeast, and the rain is in the northwest, and the circuit is in the north. Wait, what? Oh my god, I've really lost my mind today. The rain is in the northwest, the circuit is in the northeast. So it's still got to cross about half of Budapest before it actually arrives at the circuit. So, you know, that could happen in an hour's time, but only time will tell. So I'm not going to be making any promises here, but I don't know what's going on today. Maybe I just didn't have enough sleep last night. Actually, yeah, that's exactly what it was. I didn't have enough sleep last night. Apologies for the slightly misjointed commentary. All right, here we go then. 24 seconds left on the clock, and we'll have the drivers making their way out onto the circuit. Folks, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that as well. I think the like target for oh, this is Anna Taylor-Joy. Why is she at the circuit? She's been at the circuit for quite a while, actually. Again, I mean, they're showing us celebrity shots. To be fair, there's no qualifying going on, so fair enough. You can show us the celebrities now, but if Lando Norris is about to set a pole lap and you start showing me a video of Lando Norris's mum, I mean, yeah, that is purely diabolical. F1 Gamer, I'm on the site. It is raining. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're at the side. Okay, you're at the side of Hungary at Budapest where it is raining, and then I guess the other side is where the rain clouds are headed, folks. Brilliant. Okie dokes. So timer has hit 0, and we have got no cars leaving the pit lane. Fantastic. This is classic Formula 1, ladies and gents. Yeah, everyone sat in the pits waiting for someone else to go out on the track. The track temperature has dropped 5 degrees in the matter of, what, 2-3 minutes now? So that should be good, and it should help the drivers push a little bit more. But this is another thing, you know, let's say at the start of the session, it starts out at 48 degrees Celsius. By the midpoint of the session, it drops to 44 degrees Celsius, and then suddenly the sun comes out right at the end of the session. And then what could happen is track temperatures go through the roof, and drivers can't improve. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that one. Yeah. Gasly's going to be setting purple sectors and they're going to be showing Norris's bum instead. Yeah, well, we'll see. Gasly has been on pretty good form, to be honest. And, oh, first car out on track. Mr. Carlos Sainz. Good to see, good to see. Luna Echo, thanks for joining the channel membership. Very much is appreciated. And, yeah, thank you very much for supporting the channel. All right, Sainz is out on the track, so is Alex Albon. Also, there is if you go into the community tab while being a channel member, there's a link to the Discord server for all of the channel members. So go ahead and check that out if you are new. They better get going and set a banker lap if it's going to rain. Yeah, potentially. I think the rain is still a little bit further away, you know, other side of Budapest right now, but it's on the way. It's on the way, folks. And yeah, now they're just showing us shots of the cloud, which is better. And we've got Carlos Sainz, you know, past 5 qualifying sessions, 18th, 17th, 19th, 11th, and 15th. It has been a, well, 3 out of the last 5 quali sessions. Sainz hasn't made it out of Q1, and in none of the last 5 quali sessions has he made it into Q3. So yeah, Sainz has got a lot of work to do, and he hasn't been in the best form, and not able to compete with Alex Albon at least. And we'll see what he can do today. Which site to watch with VPN? It is, so if you connect to a Swiss VPN server and then you search SRF, then you can watch Formula 1. So go ahead and check it out, really. That's currently what I'm using to watch it as well. So you get Surfshark VPN using the link in the description. You join a Swiss VPN server, you search SRF, and then you can enjoy... Oh my god, wait, is that a raindrop that I just saw on the helicopter camera? Sorry there for potentially bursting your eardrums, but I thought I saw a raindrop. Maybe I was hallucinating, but regardless, yeah, if you guys do want to watch the coverage for a lot cheaper price than Sky Sports or ESPN or whatever, this is how you do it. It's either Austrian VPN and Service TV or a Swiss VPN and SRF. All right, Verstappen's out onto the circuit. So is Yuki Tsunoda. The McLarens are making their way out. All right, the big guns are coming out onto the track. Let's wait and see what they can do. through the first sector. Oh my goodness me, Alex Albon is 6/10 clear of his teammate through the first sector. Just incredible confidence from the Thai driver, and I have got to say, yeah, it's not looking good for Carlos Sainz, really. Alex Albon consistently doing better than him, and maybe he hasn't had time to adapt. Maybe Alex Albon's just a really quick driver, but yeah, don't know what's up with Carlos Sainz. Maybe he's just setting a banker lap, not pushing too hard. Let's wait and see. Alright, yeah, Sainz goes 8/10 quicker. Sorry, Albon goes 8/10 quicker than Carlos Sainz. Update, it is proper raining in the north of Budapest. Well, thank you very much. Extra sales, I definitely messed that up. But thank you for the weather update. And folks, if any of you are at the Budapest circuit, then, or in and around Budapest, then be sure to let me know what the weather's looking like. It would be fantastic to have your insights on the channel. They've just showed us a video of Carlos Sainz's girlfriend. We've literally got Max Verstappen about to start a quali lap. Like, okay, anyway, we're back to watching Max Verstappen, so I'm not going to complain too much. Here we go. Blasting down the start-finish straight, Max Verstappen in that Honda. He's got out onto the track. Everyone's rushing out onto the circuit as well, just for this potential rain that might arrive. Just set a banker lap in, make sure you don't get caught out by the rain. Verstappen through the first corner, looks nice and tidy, opens the DRS flap as he heads down towards turn number 2. The car looking fairly stable, you know, it's not understeering too much, not oversteering too much, but Max Verstappen, I'm sure, at the start of Q1 isn't pushing all that hard either. We'll keep an eye out on the top speeds and see who's doing the quickest, but Tsunoda currently top of the speed traps, 308 kilometers per hour. Lando Norris are doing very similar. A lot of the drivers around about that 307 kilometer per hour range. Sainz locked up. Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess Sainz has still got some work to do then. Yeah, actually, looking at that, the middle sector Sainz is down 3/10. The final sector is the same, and then obviously lost some time in the first sector as well. So, yeah. Verstappen, though, purple first sector, purple second sector, to be expected, to be honest. And Tsunoda's also going second fastest. Oh, Piastri's just gone quicker in the first sector. And here comes Max Verstappen then. Really, really good grip from that Red Bull through the final corner. And he gets a nice little toe from Stroll as well across the line, and it is 1 second clear of Alex Albon. Oh, Carlos Sainz is here. Okay, thank you very much, Carlos Sainz 55. Some weather updates would be brilliant. And yeah, hope you had a safe journey, safe flight to the circuit. Oscar Piastri, purple first sector, purple second sector. Lando Norris behind him can do absolutely nothing about it. Oh, sorry, Lando Norris is ahead of him. He goes purple in the final sector, but Piastri might just be about to take that away from him. Stroll, second fastest in the first sector. I don't know how he's done that one. A very nice first sector. I think he got a toe off Gasly heading down between turn number 3 and turn number 4. Piastri purple in sector 1, sector 2, sector 3. He goes 4/10 clear of his teammate. Brilliant job from Oscar Piastri. And Max Verstappen once again 0.8 of a second back from Oscar Piastri. The gap is just too big. Lewis Hamilton, this is one of his best circuits across the line. What can he do? He gets ahead of Max Verstappen but cannot get close to Oscar Piastri. He's within 20 milliseconds of Lando Norris. Good job there from Lewis Hamilton. Let's see what Leclerc can do. Leclerc, a 10th slower, in fact, in the first sector compared to Lewis Hamilton. So some more work to do there, but Leclerc quickest through the speed traps. Looks like Ferrari have taken off a little bit of downforce here because Charles Leclerc is going 5 or 6 k's per hour quicker through the speed traps. Very nice, very nice. Okay. F1 Gamer, we have a national thunderstorm warning in Budapest. Alright, brilliant. And we have got Fernando Alonso, 4th position. It looks like they weren't faking the pace. The pace is real, ladies and gentlemen. Antonelli's purple in the first sector. Leclerc's lap is 2/10 slower than Hamilton's lap. Leclerc's got some work to do. And Antonelli's gone purple in the first sector. I had cast out the Mercedes team. I said they were too inconsistent. They're not going to be quick this weekend. They've got their downgraded rear suspension, but the drivers prefer the downgraded version. A lot more stable, a lot more confidence, and confidence is what you need around the Hungaroring. Here comes Kimi Antonelli through the middle sector. He's only 25 milliseconds down on Oscar Piastri, who's currently up in first position. Here comes Kimi Antonelli. What can he do? He's just got 2 corners left to negotiate now. Turn number 13, turn number 14. Here he comes, foot flat to the floor, straight line to the start-finish line, DRS open, and it is second position for Kimi Antonelli. He's only 2/10 back from Oscar Piastri. What can Mr. Saturday himself do? Can he stick it up in first position? No, he cannot. It's only 73 milliseconds, and ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was going to be McLaren versus Ferrari. Turns out it's not going to be that. It's going to be McLaren versus Mercedes. Here we go. What a lap from Russell and Antonelli. We've got Colapinto across the line. That is 10th position for him. And then Hulkenberg is 11th. And my oh my, it is getting worse and worse for the Red Bull team. It is 12th and 14th for them. And this is outright pace. Everyone did the laps as best as they possibly could. You know, there may have been some mistakes here and there, but both Verstappen and Tsunoda are quite close to each other. Sainz improves, and it is 15th position for him. The circuit is getting quicker and quicker as well, folks. Track temperature dropped down to 44 degrees now. The lower the temperature goes, the quicker the lap times get. All right. And Alex Albon as well, 15th and 16th for them. It's Williams have had a really big downfall, actually. Their performances just has not been that good. Their first half of the season was sensational, but since then, things have sort of gone downhill, and Kick Sauber are performing fantastically. We'll have a quick look at the Constructors' Championship here, in between the gaps of the QUALI hot laps, and you can see here, we have got the McLaren team, 516 points, more than double the Ferrari team. But if we look more closely, we've got Williams in 5th there, 70 points for them. Sauber only 43, they've got 43 points, but that's not too far away. In fact, if they score another 27 points, which is Nico Hulkenberg's number, in fact, they could, well, they'll get up and match Williams. And with the way Williams are going, it doesn't look like they're going to be scoring many points all that often. So, yeah, it's now down to Nico Hulkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto. Can they bring Kick Sauber up into 5th place in the championship? When they started out the season, for the first 5-6 races, they were dead last every single time. Carlos Sainz says, dark sky in the southwest and south. Well, thank you very much, Carlos Sainz. That is Carlos Sainz 55 in the chat, folks. He is our weather reporter on the track. And, yeah, dark clouds to the south and the southwest direction, folks. That is good news. Whereas Max, he is in 13th. Tsunoda's currently in the drop zone of Q1. And look at that gap. First position all the way down to 20th. The gap is only 1.2 seconds. And this isn't anyone, this isn't some drivers on fresh tyres, some drivers on old tyres. Everyone was out on a fresh set. And the pace difference is only 1.2 seconds between the drivers. Wow. Who was the lowest and highest downforce setup? Well, you can see here through the speed traps, we've got the quickest cars being the Ferraris, of course. Going further down, we have got the Red Bulls and the McLarens. So the McLarens and Red Bulls running a little bit more downforce, I would say, compared to the others. So you can see there, Tsunoda is 308. I think Max is 307. And yeah, the speed traps. Oh, wait, Hamilton 307. Okay, Hamilton's running quite a lot of downforce. Leclerc's running not a little. So split strategies there for the McLaren crew, for the Ferrari team, sorry. And yeah, McLaren, you can see right at the bottom of the speed traps, they've got the most downforce on the car. And Russell and Antonelli up there at the top. And, you know, I would like to say here, folks, that a qualifying-oriented setup, you know, a quote-unquote qualifying-oriented setup is a setup where you have slightly less downforce than you would typically want, because you don't really care about tyre wear. Because, you know, in the race, that extra downforce prevents you from sliding around the circuit, overheating your tyres and such and such. But in qualifying, that doesn't matter. So you can knock off that extra 2-5% of downforce and go quicker in a quali lap. So I have a feeling that is what George Russell and Kimi Antonelli have done, and rightfully so. We know it is very tough to overtake around here in Budapest. We know Mercedes have a history of doing good strategies, so if they can get their cars to the top of the pack, then, well, what's it going to be? They are going to be fighting from the front, and they'll have a really good chance, won't they? Alright, Lance Stroll is on a flying lap, so is Fernando Alonso, and they're both improving, both on fresh sets as well, and we'll see what they can do. Purple in the first sector from Lance Stroll. He goes half a tenth quicker than Piastri. Lance Stroll, clearly the GOAT. Nobody else can top him. And, oh my god. How has this just happened? Here comes Fernando Alonso. Can he take that away from Lance Stroll? Yes, he can. The Aston Martins are back. Adrian Newey isn't even working on the 2025 car, but it just must be the Adrian Newey effect. Where is his performance come from? I have zero clue. Absolutely nothing. The last 3 weekends or so for Aston Martin have just been outright terrible. And here they are with purple first sector. What? All right, here they go then. Here comes Stroll through. Alonso's purple in the middle sector. What? Oh my god. Stroll across the line. It's third place for him. Here comes Fernando Alonso. Can he make it 3 sectors in a row? Is it going to be purple for all 3 of them? He's just got the final corner left to negotiate. That Aston Martin looks like it's on rails. Out of the final corner, foot flat to the floor. Purple in all 3 sectors for Fernando Alonso. He's 3/10 ahead of Oscar Piastri. Simply lovely. Oh my god. Fernando Alonso, take a bow. Oh my god. This guy. He sat out of FP1 because he had lower back problems. He's genuinely becoming an old man. He started complaining about his back, didn't drive in FP1, but he has still got the pace to absolutely destroy the competition. Piastri in that McLaren has just been beaten by Fernando Alonso. He never left. I mean, what? All right, we've got one of the Hasses crawling out the pit lane. I don't know if they've had some issues or something, but yeah, not looking good for one of the Haas cars. Ocon, that is. No, I think Ocon actually just crawling out at normal pace. I think that's fine. No issues there for Ocon, I think. All right, Piastri purple in the first sector. Okay, maybe that was a little bit overdone, but regardless, you know, Piastri, he goes only half a tenth quicker than Alonso in the first sector as well. Only half a tenth. He's in a McLaren. He should be what, 3/10 ahead in the first sector. So I've still got to say, Fernando Alonso's back. Fernando Alonso's on the podium this weekend. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Piastri again, purple, but he's only 3 milliseconds quicker. He was half a tenth quicker in the first sector, 3 milliseconds quicker in the middle sector, and now he's got the final sector left to go. Will he be able to pull out another purple sector? And how much will the gap be by? Will it be by half a tenth? Will it be by a couple of milliseconds? I don't know. Here comes Piastri, and again, it's only half a tenth. He's only 70 milliseconds ahead. How has Alonso done this? Alonso, oh my goodness me. This is sensational. Norris across the line, third place. If Alonso can do it, surely Lewis Hamilton can do it. You know, Alonso's older than him, so much more experience in Formula One, and Hamilton's got a lot of experience to his name as well. Surely Hamilton, this is one of your best circuits. Pull out his performance like that. Norris cannot match his teammate. A tenth slower in the first sector, a tenth slower in the second sector, and 10th slower in the final sector as well. Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, has Lando Norris. Yuki Tsunoda improves as well. He's only what, 2 tenths back, 1.5 tenths back from Max Verstappen. That is great to see. But Isaac Hadjar, third position. The Racing Bull is now the #1 team because Max Verstappen's in 7th, Yuki Tsunoda is in 9th, and Isaac Hadjar is in 3rd position. Carlos Sainz 55 in the chat says there is a drizzle of rain at the southwest of the circuit, ladies and gents. Rain is beginning. It's now or never. The elimination zone currently. Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, Oliver Behrman, Pierre Gasly and Ocon. Sainz just leapfrogs his way out, up into 7th place, drops Liam Lawson into the elimination zone. It's only Q1, and we have so much chaos kicking off. And Gasly across the line, 13th position for him. Brilliant from him. Charles Leclerc, he's got a purple mini sector to his name. We'll see what he can do. He's got no traffic ahead of him, and might even get a tow from his former teammate Carlos Sainz as he heads up the hill towards turn number 4. All right, Colapinto up into 11th. Albon improves. He's knocked out of Q1, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Albon is out. It's 17th position for him. He was not able to improve after the checkered flag fell. And that is Alex Albon done for qualifying. All right, Charles Leclerc, purple in the first sector. Oh, okay, folks, there's rain in the southwest of Budapest, not the southwest of the circuit. Correction. Behrman up into 10th, and we have got Charles Leclerc is currently in the drop zone. He cannot make a mistake. He cannot afford to make a mistake. Same for Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's yellow in the middle sector. He has to hook up this final sector. Otherwise, it could be big, big trouble. He does so. It's 9th position for him. Here comes Charles Leclerc. What can he do? Currently in 18th, and it's up to 5th. Nice safe job there. Tsunoda at risk of being eliminated, but Liam Lawson is the final driver left. Hulkenberg's into the pits. It's Liam Lawson or Tsunoda. Who makes it through into Q2? It's Lawson. Yuki Tsunoda is eliminated, folks. Tsunoda is out of qualifying, and Liam Lawson makes it through into Q2. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What a quali session it has been. And Tsunoda is out, Gasly is out, Ocon out, Hulkenberg out, and Alex Albon out as well. All right. Max Verstappen should drive the Racing Bulls car. Honestly, I'm genuinely thinking at this moment in time, why don't they put Max Verstappen in the Racing Bulls? Like, there is nothing to lose. Max Verstappen currently 11th. He is half a second off Lando Norris. Isaac Hadjar, for crying out loud. Isaac Hadjar, the rookie, is 3/10 back from Oscar Piastri. Like, why don't they just swap the teams around? Give me one good reason why they shouldn't swap the drivers. Because Verstappen could genuinely fight for the championship. We know Verstappen can always extract another 2/10 out of pace out of a car or something. So hop him in that Racing Bull, and yeah, I mean, sure, it would be crazy. It would make so many headlines though, and be such good advertising for the Red Bull team as well. I see. I'm not seeing any good reasons here in the chat to keep Max Verstappen at Red Bull. Surely just swap them. Actually, don't swap Hadjar. Surely swap Lawson, because Lawson isn't performing that well. Make the Red Bull team the Racing Bull team. Make the Racing Bull team the Red Bull team. Checkered flag is out, and Q2 is starting in, 4 minutes time or something, folks. 4 minutes now till Q2 begins. Hadjar says Behrman was impeding him, so we'll wait and see what happens there. But yeah. All right. Yeah, Colapinto just scrapes through into 15th, and Yuki Tsunoda eliminated, unfortunately. Okay, I am going to put a timer up on the screen. Give me a sec. All right, here we go. It should be session starting now in like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay, folks, so weather update. There is heavy rain 4 kilometers away from the track. 4 kilometers away. So the wind is blowing at, let's see what speed is the wind blowing at. The wind is blowing at 7 kilometers per hour. And so that means if it keeps up at the same rate or around about the same rate, then maybe we'll have rain with us in half an hour's time. We've hit 187k subs. Thank you very much, folks. That's very much appreciated. That was the sub target for Q1, shall we say? So yeah, let's wait and see if we can hit 188. But we're getting dangerously close now to 200k subs. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We have got the marshals on the track. Someone used Plan C for chaos, and there's a bunch of gravel on the exit of turn number 12. They've got about 20 marshals there now, just pushing all of the gravel off to the side of the circuit, and they're delaying the start of Q1, which means it just gives more and more time for the rain to start to arrive. All right. Right, I gotta knock that timer up, folks, because they've just delayed the start of Q2. Sorry, start of Q2, yeah, and I had it set for the normal time. Why the delay? There is gravel on the track. Someone, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Norris, but I can't remember, to be honest with you. Oh, it was Hulkenberg, I think. Oh, no, it wasn't Hulkenberg. I don't know. It was someone, and they drove over the gravel trap. You can see there where the yellow flag is. In fact, I'll just give you a quick onboard of what happened. So let me pull it up here. All right. So essentially what had happened was the drivers were driving through turn number 12. Let's head towards turn 12. Yeah, hit. And there is no gravel on the entry or anything. You hit the apex, and then out here on the exit curve, if you drift ever so slightly to the left, there is gravel there in real life. In the game, there isn't any gravel, but in real life, there is, and someone drove over that, brought a bunch of gravel onto the circuit. Hence, there's a yellow flag there. Marshall's clearing up the gravel. But I'll take you through an onboard lap of the circuit. In fact, let's go with an onboard cockpit lap of the circuit. So you're watching from the driver's perspective, and you can just see how low to the ground that they are sat. On the final corner, all you see to the right of you is just a huge barrier. You've got to try and get as close as possible, but of course, not touch it. You barrel your way down the start-finish straight up in 8th gear. This is one of 2 occasions you'll only be using this 8th gear around this circuit. This is the first occasion, and then as you exit turn number 3, that's the second occasion. Thanks, Voyage, for joining the channel membership. Really is appreciated, buddy. You go downshift through the gears and downhill braking for this one as well, so easy to lock up the drivers. You have to be careful. You now go down the hill, up the hill again. You momentarily shift up into 8th, or maybe, you know, stay in 7th actually, and then flick the car to left. Very easy to exceed track limits, especially because you can't see where you're going. All right, let me just rewind here. So you're heading towards turn number 4, and you know, you're here on the entry curb. If the racing line wasn't there, you have absolutely no idea when to start turning the steering wheel to hit this apex. So the drivers have some reference points here and there, and they've got to rely on that to make sure that they can hit the apex nicely and stay within track limits, like I've just done there. You carry your speed through turn number 5, head down towards the chicane of turns number 6 and 7, and bounce over these curbs. They gain you a lot of lap time. Then there's this little concrete strip here to the right of the curbs, and you want to be driving over that because that gains you a whole lot of lap time. Then there's a nice flowing section in the middle sector, little downshift off the power for turn number 11, onto the brakes for turn number 12, and yeah, this is the main thing, really. Final sector, your tyres are overheating. You've got to be super duper careful. This way you can gain or lose a lot of lap time. And up across the line now for a flying lap of the Hungaroring, folks. So that's a lap of the Hungaroring. Let me know what you think of the lap. Would you prefer more laps from the cockpit perspective? Would you just prefer the normal laps? Do be sure to let me know. But we are now not long from the start of Q2. As you can see there's a timer. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds away. Balthia, thanks for the donation. Maybe Merck should dump Kimi for Hadjar. I mean, Kimi's not doing that badly. I would say Isaac Hadjar is definitely Rookie of the Year, but Kimi Antonelli is not that far off. So I would not dump Kimi Antonelli, really. Shaw might even make it into Q3. Maybe they will. F1 Gamer, it is a drizzle on the main straight, hardly feasible. Oh my goodness me, ladies and gentlemen, the rain has arrived. We have genuinely got this person in chat here, Carlos Science 55, is at the circuit. He's sat on the main straight and he can feel, well, barely feel the drizzle that has just arrived at the circuit. So here we go, ladies and gents. We are about to have a wet session, maybe. I've got a wet quali lap recorded as well, so if the heavens open up, I'll have a lap ready for you. And here we go then. 20 seconds left on the clock, and then we'll have the drivers coming out ASAP because they do not want to get caught out by this potential rain that may arrive, that may not arrive. They do not want to be risking it. Time to get out onto the circuit ASAP. Inter tyres, not so much. If the rain starts to get really heavy, then the inter tyres would make sense. But as of right now, it's still definitely slick conditions. So, yeah. All right. So that is it. That's the timer gone to 0. Ooh, thoughts on the rain out there? Turns 1, 2, and 3 doesn't look like much at the moment. That's what they've just said to George Russell. So you know there for a fact. Russell's even talking about it. And very nice, very nice. So all of the drivers are going to be keeping a keen eye. So as you can see here, folks, this part of the circuit here, over here, is wet, and the wind is slowly but surely going to blow from the southwesterly direction upwards like this, and, well, all over the circuit, as you can see. So, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Alrighty then. So let's keep an eye out on who's coming out on fresh sets, who's coming out on used sets of tyres here. So Alonso's out on fresh sets, Stroll's out on fresh sets, Bortoletto, Russell, used sets of tyres for them. It's a risky choice. With the rain about to arrive, do you want to set your banker lap on a used set of tyres? That could result in you getting knocked out of qualifying. So, yeah, don't really know what all of these teams are doing here, but it seems like the Astons are playing it safe. They're going out on a set of softs. Okay, who else? So we got Yeah, Bortoletto, Russell out on used tyres. Antonelli's also out on used tyres. Colapinto's out on used tyres, I think, as well. Lawson and Hadjar make their way out onto the circuit. We'll get a confirmation on what tyres they're coming out on shortly. But it looks like it's fresh tyres for that team as well. And yeah, we've got now the engineers sticking their hands out of the pit wall, trying to figure out if it's raining, if it's not raining. We're going to start to see raindrops on the cameras. We're going to see helmet cams with visors full of water. The heavens are probably going to open, folks. Some slightly damper sections around turn 4 max. Expect the best conditions at the end of the session. Okay, so that's what. So Red Bull think the best conditions are going to be at the end. Oh, okay, so this is what they've said. They said a bit of rain is passing by turn 1 and turn 5 over the radio. So they think the rain's sort of just skimming the edge of the circuit. That might be true, might not be true. Maybe the wind's just going to start blowing in the other direction. But they currently think the wind is just sort of, the rain, sorry, is skimming turn 1, 2, and turn number 5. Nonetheless, the sector times that we're seeing here, Russell 27.7. Charles Leclerc's quickest first sector was a 27.4. So, yeah, still some pace improvement to go. Is that the circuit getting slower because of the rain, or is that just George Russell being out on used tyres? Stroll, a 27.6 from him. Let me pull up the sector leaderboard up on my screen. Stroll, on his previous lap, he did a 27.5 in the first sector. So yeah, pretty similar for Stroll and Alonso. You know, they're all they're out half a tenth slower in the first sector right now compared to what they were at the end of Q1. So half a tenth, not that big as of right now, but that's right at the start of the rain period. Who knows what happens later on? Antonelli, first driver across the line. It is 116.3 from him. George Russell, 3/10 clear of his teammate. Here comes Max Verstappen to start a flying lap. Here comes Lance Stroll. He is sort of stabbing away at that steering wheel. The Aston Martin still suffering from a little bit of understeer. Regardless, Stroll 4/10 clear of George Russell. Stroll's on fresh tyres. Russell's on old tyres. So keep that in mind. All right, Carlos Sainz says, big screen showed drizzle kind of heavy at turn number 4. Well, Fernando Alonso, purple in all 3 sectors. I don't think it's going to matter for him regardless. 3/10 clear of his teammate. Fernando Alonso take about once again. This man is incredible. He's had a little back injury and he's just about to show everyone in the world, I'm not an old man just yet. I've still got a lot of pace left in me. Lando Norris on a flying lap here. Let's see what he can do. He heads up the hill towards turn number 4. The McLaren looking nice and planted to the ground, and his first sector time is purple as well. He goes a tenth and a bit clear of Fernando Alonso. But I think he's being a little bit more cautious on the power. You know, all of the drivers, you know, they've been told there's rain around turn number 5. They don't want to risk it because if you crash the cars now, you're not getting out for the rest of the session. So, yeah, got to play it safe, especially in Q2. You know, in Q3, you can afford to take a risk because if you crash the car after sending a banker lap, you're just going to go back into the pits and, you know, you'll start from maybe 6th in the race tomorrow, and that's fine. That's manageable. But you can't be doing it in Q2. Norris purple in the middle sector. Piastri now a little bit further behind, so the McLaren's alternating. One time Piastri's quicker, one time Norris is quicker. And yeah, Norris is pushing nice and hard here through the middle sector and out of the final corner. What can he do? Stays well within track limits across the line, half a second clear of Fernando Alonso. Piastri's quicker in the middle sector. Nicely done. All right, here comes Hamilton as well. He's on a flying lap. What can Lewis Hamilton do? Across the line comes the Brit. Only 9th place, unfortunately. 1.3 seconds back from Norris. He's got a lot of ground to make up and definitely some mistakes to correct. Here comes Piastri, who's purple in the first sector, purple in the middle, purple in the final sector, but he's still half a tenth down. He just lost too much time in the first sector. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he went wide because of the raindrops formed at turn number 1, but he can learn from that on his next lap. And after all, it is only Q2 as of right now. Okay, last year's pole time has been broken. Indeed, it has, folks. Last year's pole time, a 1:15.227. The McLarens go and shatter that. It is a 1:14.890. And nobody else in the field has got close to last year's pole time. It's just the McLarens that have gone on to beat their own pole time from last year. And Red Bull, Max Verstappen has gone backwards. They have gone downhill. Verstappen was only, I think it was 2/10 or 1/10 off the pole time from last year. As of right now, he's just at a lap time of a 1 minute 16. Red Bull's downfall, I mean, we've talked about the other teams getting a lot quicker, but Red Bull themselves have got slower. What? How has that just happened? Okay. I mean, yeah, he's on used tires, but regardless, I think even on fresh tires, there isn't that big of a difference. So he's got to close up 8/10 in with a set of fresh tires. So I don't know. But yes, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc and Hamilton, Sainz, Bortoletto, Antonelli. In fact, all of the drivers from 10th and below, all on used tyres. Russell and Verstappen also on used tyres. So, that will make an effect. But a 1.1 second effect? I don't really know. Okay. Oh, Leclerc's come over the radio here, saying, focus on one thing, please. I want to get out onto the circuit as soon as possible with no cars in front of me in the pit lane." So Leclerc's giving Ferrari instructions, please do this. I'd like to see Ferrari follow them. Okay, forecast says rain in 5 minutes and the skies are dark. Okay, I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. Game, would you have something to watch the race tomorrow? Yeah, folks, if you guys are interested in watching the coverage, all you've got to do is use the link in the description to get Surfshark VPN. Then you connect to an Austrian VPN server, and then you go onto Google, you search Servers TV, and you literally watch the Formula One. That's it. It's as easy as that. The only thing you have to pay for, Surfshark VPN. So if you guys are interested, check that out. There's a link in the description. And if for whatever reason it doesn't work, you can get a refund. But we've got about 500 or so people using it at this moment in time. So, I'm sure it works. In fact, I myself am using it. I'm using a Swiss VPN and SRF, but either way, regardless, they both work. All right, we've just had a donation come through. Issam Maroof, thanks for the donation. For tomorrow, if the track temperature stays cold, is the soft tire preferred to be the most preferred? Well, if the track temperature drops to like 35 degrees, 35 and lower, that's when the soft tires would be used. Because we actually saw this in FP2. The track temperatures did drop to around 35, and Verstappen was in fact complaining about, or maybe Verstappen's engineer was saying that he can't warm up his tyres because it's just not warm enough, really, and his tyres weren't getting hot enough. And that's something very, very rare. Typically here in Budapest, you just hear overheating tyres all the time. But yesterday, we saw that when track temperatures dropped to 35 degrees, the medium tyres just could not get fired up and weren't warm enough. So if it's 35 or lower, soft tyres are viable. If not, if it's warmer than that, then it'll be mediums. All right, what's Stroll doing? I don't know, but he's out of fresh set. He also did his first set of laps on his fresh set. So Stroll is just using endless amounts of tyres. I think he's just going out early beforehand and not to bother anyone else later on in the end of the session. Totally clear track, nothing to focus on. There's a helicopter right at the end of turn number 1. Surely that's going to give him a little bit extra downforce. Actually, no, it's quite far away from turn number 1. But if it flies right, this is a well-known fact here, folks. If a helicopter flies on top of a Formula 1 car while it's going through the corner, the Formula 1 car actually gets a whole lot more downforce. And I think Verstappen at some point was complaining about it because I think the helicopter was giving one of his rivals extra downforce through a corner. It's wild what these Formula 1 drivers will complain about, but it's true. Okay, purple, not purple, green in the first sector, but he's only half a tenth back from Norris in the first sector, so really nice job there from Lance Stroll, and the Astons really do have pace today. They've turned up the heat, and Stroll is delivering, and so is Fernando Alonso, and up through the gears he goes, a little downshift as he makes his way through towards turn number 12, onto the brakes super duper late, and it looks like Ferrari is sending out both of their drivers right at the front of the pack. Charles Leclerc asked that he wants to go out first, however, it looks like that's not going to happen. Behrman's out in front of him, and Norris is out in front of him, and maybe some other cars as well. Okay, Leclerc gets out. Okay, so Ferrari had one job. They did it at least half well. Stroll improves up into third place. He goes ahead of his teammates, and it is 2.5 tenths back. How is Stroll only 2.5 tenths back from Norris? Like, they're both on fresh tyres. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Fresh tyres for both of them. And Stroll is only 2 tenths back. incredible pace. And where has it arrived from as well? You know, it's just materialized out of nowhere. They had a tiny tweak to their front wing. So I don't know if you guys have sort of looked at front wings in much detail, but each front wing has sort of 4 or 5 elements. Aston Martin changed, I think, the last element or maybe the last 2 elements, and then that's all they did for this weekend to give them a little bit more downforce. And oh my goodness me, there's a traffic jam at the end of the pit lane. Carlos Sainz is stuck. He's just stuck. But yeah, Aston Martin changed that tiny little thing, and pace has evaporated out of, well, not evaporated, the pace has appeared out of thin air. Okay, I think the rain might have missed the circuit, folks. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, the rain's getting worse, is it? Maybe Stroll did the right choice, going out when the circuit was dry, but I guess we'll wait and see. Also, folks, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Very much is appreciated. So hopefully we can make our way towards 2,000 likes. I think that, well, the like target normally for QUALI streams is I think 3,000 or 4,000, but I'll set it to 3,000 now. And if you haven't subscribed as well, be very much appreciated. Hopefully we can hit 188k subs today. That'll put us well on track to hitting 200k in about 3-4 races time. Okay. Here we go then. Charles Leclerc's on a flying lap. Let's keep an eye out on these sectors here. You know, if we see a whole lot of yellow when the drivers are on their flying laps, that means the circuit's getting worse. But the fact that Behrman is setting some some purple mini sectors here, that goes to indicate that there is still some pace left in the circuit. Charles Leclerc as well, he's also improving. Not bad, not bad. Okay. What is Sainz doing? Sainz has finally got his way out of the pit lane. You know, a whole lot of traffic. He's got 1 minute 50 seconds left on the clock. A lap around Hungary is about 1 minute 15. An out lap around Hungary are 1 minute 40. So he's got about 20 seconds to play with to warm up his tires and everything. Should be okay with that. All right, Behrman improves up into 5th position. This is for Q2, ladies and gents. The timer is heading towards 0, and we are about to get underway for a very, very exciting part of the weekend. Berg, thanks for the donation. Thanks for the update. The commentary and the VPN's a bit too much right now. Well, very much is appreciated, Berg. And yeah, hope all of you are enjoying the coverage. Here comes Charles Leclerc. He's green in the first 2 sectors across the line, 5th position, but he's still behind the Aston Martins. What? Nobody had predicted the Aston Martins to be the second row of the grid. Nobody. Here comes Hamilton. Can he change that? No, he cannot. He's 3/10 back from his teammate Charles Leclerc, and the Ferraris keep alternating. Sometimes Leclerc's 3/10 ahead, sometimes Hamilton's 3/10 ahead. I don't know what's going on. Lawson up into 6th. Isaac Hadjar is in 9th, and yeah, well, Hadjar's about to improve, so here we go. Carlo Pinto starts his flying lap. There's 47 seconds left on the clock. Hadjar up into 6th. Hadjar and Lawson, both 6th and 7th position. Max Verstappen, please go ahead of the Racing Bulls, because otherwise Helmut Marko might actually demote you to the Red Racing Bulls team. Piastri goes purple in the first sector. Looks like he's got some pace. And he's also, look, Piastri's out on used tyres. He's just set a purple first sector and he's on used tyres, for crying out loud. Oh my God. Right, yeah, some serious pace from Piastri. Russell improves up into 4th. He splits the Aston Martins. Nicely done. Alonso sitting in the pits. He knows that he doesn't need to go out because he's made it through into Q3. Nicely done. Max Verstappen, he splits the Racing Bulls. He still didn't even manage to go ahead of Isaac Hadjar. Surely, Lauren Mickeys, who was previously team principal of the Racing Bulls team, is now he got promoted up to the Red Bull team and is now giving drivers a lower position than the Racing Bulls team. It is, you know, this script is absolutely wild. Here comes Piastri out of the final corner. He improves. Oh, sorry, he doesn't improve, actually. He's about 2/10 slower, given that he's on used tyres. That's what I was saying. The used tyres only gain you about 2/10 of a second. They're not going to gain you a full second or so. And yeah, Piastri, he stays in second, even after a purple first sector. Here comes Carlos Sainz, currently in the drop zone. Across the line he comes. What can he do? 14th position, unfortunately. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Lewis Hamilton has been eliminated out of Q2, and so is Kimi Antonelli. Oh, no, no, no. How has that happened here? Well, I'll tell you how it's happened. It's the Aston Martins have suddenly got some pace, and yeah, Ferraris just couldn't compete with that. Here we go then. So Antonelli out Behrman out, Hamilton out, Sainz out, and Colapinto out as well. And the drivers up in the top 10, we have got 2 McLarens, 2 Aston Martins, 2 Racing Bulls, only 1 Ferrari, only 1 Red Bull, and 1 Kick Sauber. And 1 Mercedes as well, if I hadn't said that already. Oh my goodness me. Antonelli gets knocked out by how many milliseconds? 6 milliseconds slower. Genuinely, if Kimi Antonelli had went to the toilet, he's got a lap time deleted. Never mind. Kimi Antonelli, lap time deleted. He exceeded track limits at the final corner when he was doing his flying lap, and I think that's what did it for him. So lap time deleted, unfortunately, for Antonelli, and that's him eliminated. I was going to say, if he had just gone to the toilet before doing his quali lap, he would have made it through into Q3. But no, lap time deleted regardless. Charles Leclerc, a very big snap from him as he went through turn number 4 as well. So Leclerc still got some pace left. And he's, half a second back? Folks, we have got Lance Stroll fighting the McLarens harder than Max Verstappen is fighting the McLarens. Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Folks, if you want to watch the Formula One, $2 a month. It's Surfshark VPN, using the link in the description, Austrian VPN, and Servers TV. You can watch the coverage there. Go ahead and check it out. But that's the last I'm going to do of that promotion. No more Surfshark ads from me right till the end of the stream. I'm also blocking all the adverts from YouTube, so hopefully no more ads coming through for that. And folks, Q3 will be getting underway shortly. Let me just pop a timer up on the screen. We'll be getting underway in a matter of minutes. It looks like there's no gravel on the circuit, so shouldn't be too long now before we get underway for some qualifying here in Budapest. The rain that tantalized us so much has just missed the edge of the circuit and has been blown off in another direction. So looks like we will not be having rain for Q3, but we will still have a very tight fight up at the front. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Piastri? Is it going to be Norris? I think it's just too close to call. Yeah, sometimes Piastri's quicker, sometimes Norris is quicker. I genuinely have no idea. Alright, that timer up on the screen also is correct. We've just got an official message from Race Controller when Q3 is starting. Bortoletto's made it through into Q3. He's very pleased with that one. And Hulkenberg in 19th, Bortoletto in 10th. So very, very nice job there from Bortoletto so far. And all of the rookies this year have been really good. You know, none of them have been outstandingly bad. And if I've got to say outstandingly good, probably you've got Isaac Hadjar, you've got Bortoletto, you've got Kimi Antonelli. It's one of those three, surely, for rookie of the first half of the season. Stroll Sigma grindset is paying off. Indeed it is. Oh, folks, all of the Lance Stroll memes are incredible. Yeah. Be sure to keep coming them in. I'm sure rocket-powered Mohawk's about to have a stroke. Yeah, well, who knows? Stroll might just stick it up on pole position. Look, folks, look. Stroll is no stranger to Plan C for chaos. We know this, right? We know Stroll is no stranger to Plan C for chaos. And as I said earlier, you know, if I'm going to take you through an onboard lap of the circuit, and I'm just going to show you where Stroll could execute Plan C for chaos, right? So the plan is, what you can do, as you're exiting towards turn number 12, yeah. This is it. You've exited turn number 11. You're heading towards turn number 12 here. Stroll goes out first onto the circuit, and what does he do? He goes out, sets a quick lap. Then, next up, on his in-lap to the pits, what does he do? On the exit of turn number 12, there is a nice little gravel trap there, which you can drive all of your wheels all over. You can bring a bunch of gravel onto the circuit, and then when you've got Norris and Piastri fighting to get a pole position lap, they just get hit with a bunch of gravel. You know, it's like one of those Mario Kart banana peels, and they just spin around, do a full 360, and Lance Stroll's on pole position. Simply lovely, really. Simply lovely. Nobody could have thought about this. I'm sure the betting odds for Lance Stroll for pole position would have been like 1 to 1,000,000 or something. So, yeah. All right. But I'll take you through a lap of the circuit, and then we'll get underway for Q3. So let me just make this ever so slightly. I'll just bring it over here, actually. And then we'll get underway for Q3. Okay, let me unpause this, and you make your way around the circuits here. And the main thing here, just to get a really nice run, don't exceed track limits like Kimi Antonelli did there on the exit of turn number 14. That will get your lap time deleted. You head down the main straight towards turn number 1. Just stick to the left-hand side of the road, slam on the brakes at the 100-meter mark, trail brake your way in, third gear, upshift towards fourth to reduce your wheel spin, and then smoothly on the power as you head down the hill, open the DRS flap, downhill braking for turn number 2, super easy to lock up, but the drivers have dealt with it nicely enough so far in this qualifying session. Flat through turn number 3, in towards turn number 4, you go up the hill, you can't see the apex, you turn in blind. The drivers have incredible muscle memory and keep that one under control. Through turn number 5, carry as much speed as you possibly can over these curbs on the exit. In towards turn number 6, bounce over these curbs, gain you so much lap time. It's free lap time, just take it. And then in towards the left and then the right of turn number 8 and 9, very smooth and flowing. And Stroll and all of the drivers super smooth on their steering wheel. Try to scrub off as little speed as possible. Don't exceed track limits at turn number 11. You've got to do a little lift, but a lot of commitment is required. Turn 12 is plan C for chaos. And then you've got turn number 13 and 14 left, where your tyres are overheating. Everything is, you know, screaming at you. It's overheating. It's too hot. It's time to slow down. But you still got to push on and just hug this inside line. Across the line you go. And that is a lap of the Hungaroring. We've got 40 seconds left. 30 seconds left for the final top 10 shootout. Let me just put that in the right position. There we go. Let me just move this onboard back to the corner. And folks, that is qualifying here in Hungary. Let me know what you think. All right. Let me adjust this correctly. Right, very nice. Okay. Position for F1 Gamer to become Stroll's engineer? Well, you know, maybe. We've got 2 seconds left on the clock, in fact, 0 seconds left on the clock. And at the bottom left of the screen, we've got a 12-minute timer. Track is clear, green light is open, and it is 11:59 on the clock. And time is ticking. We've got drivers making their way to the end of the pit lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the top 10 shootout. Who is going to get pole position? All right, I'm gonna put a poll together, and it's going to be Piastri, Norris, Stroll, and Alonso. Why not? Piastri, Norris, Stroll, or Alonso. Let's see. Are you guys correct? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are just going to vote Stroll for the memes, but I guess we'll wait and see. I'm going to have a quick sip of water because I've been shouting at the top of my voice for the last couple of minutes. And yeah, all of the drivers coming out into the pit lane here. Okay, Stroll's out on a used set of tyres. Alonso, I think, is out on fresh sets. Yes, he is. I'll keep you up to date on who's on fresh tyres, who's not. Okay, or are we going to get another magical lap from Max Verstappen? We have seen so many special laps from him from absolutely nowhere that, you know, if we look back to Silverstone, that Red Bull was driving like a boat. It had a turning radius of an entire city, and still, Verstappen managed to stick it on pole position. So, are we going to see some Max Verstappen magic, or are we going to see some Stroll dominance, or are we going to see return to glory for Fernando Alonso, or are you going to see the boring result where we have Lando Norris versus Oscar Piastri? In the qualifying head-to-head, it is 6-7. Piastri has outqualified Norris 7 times, Lando Norris has outqualified Piastri 6 times. Let's see what's going to happen as we go into the summer break. All right, we've got 33% of people voting for Piastri, 21 for Norris, 31 for Stroll, and 15 for Alonso. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay. Oh, did I say 67? Oh, sorry, 6. It was 6-7. So Piastri has outqualified Norris 7 times. Norris has outqualified Piastri 6 times. Yeah. Apologies for the mistake. Carlos Sainz 55, who's currently at the Hungarian Grand Prix circuit, the rain is nowhere to be seen. So there we go, folks. No rain has arrived. It is now just outright battle for pole position. And Alonso, purple in the first sector. It's a 27.6, but it's 0.3 slower than what Piastri did on his previous flying lap. So, yeah, not looking that great. Yeah, 6-7, not 67. I guess I probably said 67. All right. All right, Alonso purple first sector, purple second sector, looking good, looking good. I mean, Stroll's out on used tyres, and yeah, that purple first sector gets taken away by Lando Norris, as is kind of expected. Stroll, a 1:16.660, and here comes Fernando Alonso. What's it going to be for him? It is a 1:16.0 from him. He is 6/10 back. 6/10 ahead, sorry. And Lawson is also 6/10 behind Fernando Alonso. And Verstappen now starting his flying lap. Here we go. Lando Norris half a second up on Fernando Alonso's time as he heads towards the final sector. He's just got turn 12, 13 and 14 left to navigate. Oh, a little bit of stabbing at the steering wheel here. The McLaren not steering as nicely as you'd like. And Piastri is purple in the middle sector. Russell is purple in the first sector. The Mercedes had a really good Q1. They were sort of nowhere to be seen in Q2. And they are back, ladies and gentlemen. They are back to fight. All right, Piastri across the line. It's a 10th clear of Lando Norris. Very nicely done from Oscar Piastri. But George Russell is about to ruin the fun. He's half a 10th up. He has got 2 corners left to go. Through turn number 13, hits that apex perfectly, so smooth on the power, and now he's just got the final corner left to go, and across the line comes George Russell. What is Mr. Saturday going to do? Only 3rd position. He's lost 3/10 in the final sector. Oh no, no, no. This is how Lando Norris got pole position last year. He had an incredible final sector, and he stole pole away from Piastri and Verstappen, and now both McLarens are having amazing final sectors, and Verstappen can't get close, Russell can't get close, not even Fernando Alonso. Okay, Charles 1.2 seconds back from pole. Charles was out on a U set. Okay, so just a clarification here. Everyone in 5th place and lower was out on a U set of tyres apart from Isaac Hadjar. So Alonso did a lap on a fresh set, but Verstappen, Leclerc, Lawson, Bortoletto, Stroll, all out on a used set of tyres. Lance Stroll got a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits at turn number 9. And yeah, he went past the painted white line, but he was out on a used set of tyres, so not too much to worry about. A fresh set will be good enough for him. George Russell just had a little mistake in the final corner. You couldn't see it from the camera angle that we were watching from, but looking at the onboarder, just a little snap, and that's what lost him the 3/10 of a second. So if he can just fix that one mistake at the end, then he could do it. And look at that, the strength of the wind. The wind is gusting up to 20 to 25 kilometers per hour. That's might have been what caught George Russell out, because yeah, the wind really does have a huge effect on the downforce levels of the cars. So yeah, that could be the issue that George Russell was suffering from. That could be the reason that he got a snap on the exit of the final corner. So only time will tell. Let's wait and see. What can George Russell do? Stroll got a lap time deleted. Indeed it did. Yeah, Russell comes over the radio. That was all over the place. Very gusty, I think. And yeah, he would be correct. The wind's going up to 20, 25 kilometers per hour. He said happy with the tyres, though. So his warm-up procedure, perfect. I think even some of the McLaren engineers are going to be going and watching George Russell's on board, trying to figure out what he did for the warm-up procedure, because that was a mega lap from George Russell. Okay, here we go. What's it going to be, ladies and gents? What is it going to be? 5 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. Stroll and Alonso going out onto the circuit first. Are they executing Plan C, ladies and gents? Are they executing Plan C? They're going to go out, do their quali laps, and then deploy a bunch of gravel onto the circuit. I don't know. Let me know what you think is going to happen. All right. I cannot wait. Or is Max Verstappen going to put together something special? Because we know, from used tyres to fresh tyres, you can gain 3/10, maybe 2/10, most likely 3/10 maybe. That could put him close to the McLarens. what's Verstappen said? Mate, or on the outlap, just already I have no grip. Verstappen's complaining about the outlap grip. And yeah, track temperatures have dropped to 36 degrees. This is perfect for the soft tyres because the soft tyres really do overheat once the track temperatures are up at 50 or 45 or whatever. So it's good, but you do need to get those tyres warmed up properly. And, you know, maybe it's not enough work done by the Red Bull engineers to figure out a proper warm-up procedure for cold conditions. And they were just focusing on the warm condition warm-up procedure. So yeah, they're going to have to figure something out on the fly. They're either going to have to watch Norris's onboard, watch Russell's onboard to figure out a warm-up procedure because Verstappen's struggling even on the outlap. Okay, here comes Lance Stroll then. The GOAT himself. Up the hill he goes towards turn number 4. He is about to flick the car to the left and it sticks like crazy. He is 23 milliseconds up on Oscar Piastri's time through the first sector. Here comes Lance Stroll. Could he potentially get pole position here? Let's wait and see. Through the middle sector he goes. That Aston Martin looks like it's on rails. I don't know what Adrian Newey has been doing, but he has been cooking like there's no tomorrow. Alonso's purple in the first sector. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to happen. Are we going to get an Aston Martin pole position? Stroll loses 2/10 in the middle sector. Not ideal. He's got 2 more corners to make it up from. Let's see what he can do. But the GOAT himself, Fernando Alonso, so many years of racing. He got his first win here in Hungary. Can he repeat the same success here in 2025 all these years on? Stroll is purple in the final sector, only a 10th down. If Alonso matches Stroll's final sector, he could be on for a shot at provisional pole. Here comes Fernando Alonso. What is it going to be? Very, very smooth on the power, a little snap, but it's not going to lose him too much time. Carrying minimum speed of 140 kilometers per hour. Simply incredible. It's second position for Fernando Alonso. Only 83 milliseconds back from Oscar Piastri. So close. Alonso could be winning the race tomorrow. Ladies and gents, remember what happened in 2021. Alonso defended against Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes on fresh tyres while Alonso was on used hards, and he did it for 9 laps. Let's imagine a level playing field. Piastri versus Alonso, the old maestro versus the newcomer. Who's coming out on top? Oh my god. Wow. All right, here we go then. We've got Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri, Piastri, Bortoleto. Everyone's out on their laps now. Here we go. Alonso comes over the radio saying it was a good lap, and the engineers are also, yeah, it was a pretty good lap, mate. It was a pretty good lap. All right, very, very nice. Folks, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. Very much would be appreciated. Hopefully, we can make our way towards 188k subs. We're, 800 away. Hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. I mean, I'm loving doing this commentary. This is going to be mind-blowing. Alright, here we go. We have got Lando Norris starting his flying lap. Currently, he is second place in the Constructors' Championship. 16 points behind his teammate. He has got a lot of work to do, and he has got a lot of points to gain because both drivers are so consistent. The qualifying head-to-head, Piastri has outqualified Norris 7 times. Norris has outqualified his teammate 6 times. He has got another opportunity to make it level playing going into the summer break. Through the middle sector, Charles Leclerc's purple through the middle sector. Oh my god, the Ferrari upgrade package was incredible this weekend. Here he comes through turn number 13. Russell gets out of the way nicely. And what can Charles Leclerc do? A man on a mission, out of the final corner, foot flat to the floor, across the line. He's up in provisional pole! Charles Leclerc by 26 milliseconds. Provisional pole. What a lap. Alright, here comes Norris. Piastri's down in the first sector. Norris is also down in the first sector. Oh, no, in the middle sector. And Norris is a 10th down on Leclerc in the middle sector. Is it all going wrong, or is he going to gain everything back in the final sector? Is Charles Leclerc going to get pole position? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Norris out of the final corner. He stays within track limits. Across across the line. It's only third. It's purple in the final sector, but it is not enough. Piastri is down by 0.3 of a second, and things are not going his way across the line, and he doesn't improve. This pole position has slipped out of the McLaren's hands, and Charles Leclerc take a bow. Provisional pole position unless Max Verstappen can do anything about it. He's on his flying lap. He is the last driver to do his flying lap. He has absolutely perfect track conditions. Bortoletto up into 7th. Can Verstappen stop him? Oh my god. We've still got Verstappen left. Don't count him out just yet. He is, he's what, 0.2 down in the middle sector, and he's got the final sector left to go. What can Magic Max do? He's got turn 12 and 13. Russell improves up into 4th. Not enough. And look at that. The top 4 within 0.5 of a second of each other. Simply incredible. Verstappen is only 8th. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the end of qualifying. What a session it has been. And the race tomorrow, I've got to emphasize here, folks. I've got to emphasize, look at this. There is rain forecast. There is rain. This is going to be mega. Charles Leclerc's on pole. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's not much else I can say, folks. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Tomorrow's race is going to be simply lovely. So I urge all of you to tune into the live stream right from the get-go. It's going to be simply incredible. And Bortoletto's up in 7th as well, ahead of Max Verstappen. Wow. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to end the stream now. I'll take you over to the race stream for tomorrow. If you could hit the like button and the reminder button for the race stream, that'd be incredible. It really helps out the algorithm. All of this channel's success is down to the people that hit the like button and the reminder button before the stream starts, I've got to say. So thank you so much all for tuning in. It's going to take you to tomorrow's stream. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the reminder button, and I will see you then. Okay. Bye-bye, folks. Bye-bye.